You're listening to the Storyy Time podcast.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Storyy Time podcast. We got a special guest here today, Ivan Simental, and what we're going to be talking about is how to transform your business using social media. So I met Ivan about 3 years ago at, at a small mortgage company, and I've just seen him like transform his life through social media with getting new prospects, really changing the way he does business. And just so you guys know, Ivan comes with 6 years of experience. He's really just trying to empower potential home buyers, even real estate agents, through social media to make sure they succeed. But Ivan, if you kind of want to just do a quick intro, and then we'll dive into the meat of the episode and help these people succeed on social.
So yeah, we've known each other, 3 years now. A little bit about myself. I've been doing home loans going on 7 years now. Started back before the mortgage industry crashed, 2005, got out of it. Obviously when the mortgage industry crashed. Then did a little bit of social media, content, marketing, all that stuff in between, played a little bit of professional soccer, retired from professional soccer, then decided to get back into the mortgage industry. I saw it was more established and safer, not all the crazy risky loans that we were doing back in the day. So yeah, I started doing it, and I saw that there was a need for educational content in the mortgage space specifically, on social media, that there really wasn't anybody that was educating the consumer through storytelling and really putting them first. And it's been a lot of trial and error and practice, making mistakes, obviously, and learning from those mistakes and trying to find the proper voice on social media. But yeah, here I am.
Didn't you used to work at Apple as well at some point?
Zappos.
I
used to work at Zappos. I used to work at Zappos.com, the online retailer that got acquired by Amazon. But yeah, I used to work for them in the content marketing and stuff.
Well, I bet your clients and your real estate agents are happy you came back to the mortgage industry. I know it's always fun talking to you, go through things. So we're going to go get started, guys. I'm really excited for this episode. Ivan, just so you know, he has a bunch of experience with social media. He's really good at what he does on there, and that's why I wanted him on the podcast. So just to start off, Ivan, when did you start really focusing on social media for your mortgage, for yourself for mortgage, not on what you're doing for other people?
For myself, I want to say I started off fairly soon. I know that actually you were the one that was helping me with that in the beginning. You gave me the scripts and what to say and how to say it and the delivery and all this stuff. So I would say almost 3 years now is when I officially started doing video content.
That's crazy, man. And it's funny because there's a lot of business owners, loan officers, and real estate agents that think like, hey, when I do my first post, I'm going to get like 20 more loans this month. And you can talk about it. That's not how it works, man. I know it took a bunch of time for that consistent flow. So if you want to talk us through like how long that took, how to be consistent, like, because everybody wants gratification right away, but that's not how it works with social. So I think it'd be cool to hear from you.
So social media, and I tell my realtors, I tell my loan officers, social media is a long-term game. Yes, you will see results. You can see results in as little as your first post, but don't expect those results. You have to remain consistent with social media. People have to see that you're consistently creating content. They have to see that you know what you're talking about. They have to see your personality. They have to see who you are as an individual and what you stand for and what you're all about before they're going to trust you. So it's all about building trust through video.
Do you remember when you're going to make fun of me for this? It's a joke in the mortgage industry, and I think real estate industry as well. Facebook ads. We're going to get into it. So Facebook ads. I think Ivan was going to kill me because he's like, dude, all these are trash. Like none of them are converting. And I think it's because when I first started in the mortgage industry, I was running those. I'm not going to lie, they work, but they work in a certain way. And the way we were doing it was we were posting stock videos, stock photos for you, and expecting someone to do a $300,000 transaction through that stock video. And I think part that we missed was creating that authentic content and really building those relationships with those buyers. So you can probably talk about it as well, but like how big of a difference has it made creating that content for growing relationships and trying to get that loan the next day? Like how do you make sure your mindset is that way and not get tired out from it?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to focus on creating content, you have to add this as part of your daily routine or weekly routine, whatever that is. You have the time block, whether it's going to be 4 hours or whether it's going to be an hour. The consistency is just like, hey, I'm calling loan officers to try to recruit their business, whether it's from 9 to 11 or whatever that is. Add creating content and add social media part of your business, because for me, when I reach out to a realtor via text or a phone call, I know that that realtor has already seen my content on social media. So it's now like a warm introduction, right? It's like, hey, it's Ivan. I know that we've liked a few of our photos or seen a few of our videos on social media. I'd love to take you to coffee to talk about how we can partner. It's definitely an easier intro to realtors when they've already seen your content and already follow you.
I'm happy that you mentioned that. So it was about 6 months ago. We've been helping all these people, and we asked someone, said, "Why do you pay us?" And the first thing he said was, "Well, to make me look cool online." And the second reason, I was a little surprised. He's like, when I call my leads or my real estate agents, they already know who I am and why I'm calling. So like, let's say you never met this person, but when you post your content, and you can even boost that content to a custom list, before you call them, they already know who you are, and it helps break the ice. So I love that you mentioned that, like just taking it and knowing what to do with those posts instead of expecting all this business to come through. It really, like, you got to do your part. You can't just let it just go out there. So I think that's a great point. This was a fun question, and I'm pretty sure you've learned this along the way. What are the common mistakes people make when they start recording content and posting on social media? And we can get some tips too to overcome that.
The most common mistake is they want to turn on for the camera, right? So you've held conversations with me. You've held conversations with me outside of video and outside of work. This is how I sound. This is how you and I converse. Now, if as soon as you hit record on this, right, on the podcast or this episode, and I'm like, yes, well, Devin, it's been wonderful chatting with you. You're like, dude,
Yeah,
what the hell? So
right.
that's the biggest mistake I see individuals make. Number two is they want to sell this lifestyle that they're not really living, right? Like I have friends or realtors who like, okay, I want to get a luxury car, I want to go in a luxury house, and I want to, get a custom suit and all this stuff, and I want to create a video. I'm like, bro, but you don't sell those kind of houses. Why are you going to do that? So
Yes.
it's selling like this lifestyle that is not their lifestyle. It all comes down to being authentic with your voice, being authentic with who you are and what you do.
Yeah.
Because people, social media is ruthless. They'll call you out on
I know, man, especially on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, I bet
it.
they
Yeah.
not care. The
Mm.
first thing that you mentioned, well, actually, the last thing they mentioned was just being authentic. So I think something that happens a lot is you get a camera in front of you, and you feel like you have to, like you said, like sit up straight, change your voice. You have to do all these things, but it's just like relax, right? And I think a tip, and maybe you have a tip as well, is have someone help you record that content. So if you have a camera in front of you, have someone in back of there and ask questions that a person would actually ask. It's not like, Ivan, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to say, hey, Ivan, what's a FHA loan, right? Or something. I don't care. I'm hoping you get me the best loan, so I don't care about that. But like questions like, how long does it take for my loan to get approved? Are rates going to keep increasing? Are we going to do a recession? Ask those questions that are actually getting asked, and then just having someone help you with that. Is there another tip you'd give? Because you can't always have someone in back of the camera, I guess. Like, how do you feel natural on video?
Another tip would be to use Instagram stories, right? They delete after 24 hours, and you said something stupid, oh, don't worry, it'll delete in 24 hours. Or if you didn't like how you looked or sounded, it's going to be gone in 24 hours. One thing that I did is I also recorded tons and tons of videos, but I never posted them. But that's just so that I can get comfortable talking on camera. I would just record myself talking, and then eventually I just became comfortable. And even still now, my content director, Kirsten, she'll stop me and say, "Hey man, you sounded too salesy. Let's do that again." I'm like, "Oh shit, man. Okay, got it. So
Yeah.
it still comes out sometimes, but I'm human. I'm not perfect.
Especially like when you get that camera in front of you, it's easier said than done. I remember, I don't know if it was you, maybe it was someone else. I was telling these loan officers, I'm like, hey, you need to start recording video. You need to start recording video. And then someone called me out, as well as like the company I was at with you, and he said, Devin, have you ever recorded a video before? I was like, no, I haven't. So I got in my car. I recorded.
That was me.
It was. I thought it was. I thought it was. And so I got in my car and I recorded a video. I'm like, yeah, this isn't easy. Like, and if I'm going to tell these loan officers to record video, I better dang do it myself. I can't. Right. We're doing this podcast, like, hey, start recording video. It's easy. Like, you just need to sound natural. It's like, let's be honest, for real. Like, it's not easy and it takes time and it takes a lot of practice. So I love that you mentioned that, like, you practice beforehand. I think too, like, this is funny. Maybe you do it too, but like, I'll warm up where I'll spend 5 minutes talking in front of a camera. Cause I'm not going to lie, when I get in the camera, I do sound salesy and I don't sound like myself. So doing that warm up beforehand and then hitting the record button or keep the record button going will help. But
Yep.
Awesome. As you focused on social media, because I know like there were a lot of things you were doing in the past, how has your business changed as you focused on social? Like, what does that look like for you?
I'm known in my market, whether it's the loan officer who wears a hat, because I usually always wear a hat, but I'm known in my market, and it's an easier introduction to other realtors. And in that way, it's specifically changed my business, right? Where I can reach out to more realtors with confidence because, hey, look, I'm already on social media. I know that they follow me. I know that they talk to me. On top of that, I also get business from social media, which obviously makes it nice where people are coming to me because of my content. So that makes it very, very worth doing. And of course, I'm not closing 50, 60 deals a month off social media, but I will do 2 to 3 million a year from social media, which is nice in volume.
It's funny too, because like people, they'll see your videos, but they won't say anything about it. So it's hard to measure that, right? Like people ask like, hey, can you tell me my ROI on this? I'm like, honest, like I cannot tell you that unless I have to reach out to you directly, because it's the purpose of social media to me, and I'd love to hear your point, is always being top of mind. So your videos don't have to be professionally edited, but they don't have to be this movie production where you write out a full-on script, because let's be honest, I was on social yesterday. I don't remember a single thing I looked at yesterday, but I remember the people that I looked at. I remember seeing content from Ivan. It's not bad. I just don't remember what it was because it's every day it changes, right? So I don't know. I'd love to hear your point on that. Like, yeah, what does that look like for you too? Do you forget things the next day? What is the purpose for you?
Yeah, I mean, you said something important where it doesn't have to be professional quality, right? If you can, great. But if not, I've started incorporating some more not authentic, more, what's the word I'm looking for? More raw from your iPhone type content. And one of them got almost, I think, 10K views, right? And it's like, okay, it doesn't matter if it's top quality or if it's from your iPhone. I mean, you can still shoot good stuff from your iPhone. And I always bring it back to, it's just about remaining consistent on social media, staying top of mind. And once you're consistent, then you can talk about like the specific strategies, your hooks. You can talk about how many times a day you should post, what you should be posting, how you should be posting. But first, like, just get comfortable with posting. And that's the most important thing.
I agree 100%. And I think we're going to end with this, and this is my favorite question, because you asked me this when you first started, but how do you measure the success of social media? Is it how many likes I get, how many views I get? Because there's a lot of vanity metrics, right? And that stuff doesn't matter. So I'm not going to say anything. I just want to hear what you think.
I feel that a lot of people in our industry measure success off of, like you said, the vanity metrics. And guys, there is I would say 90% of the people that have a large following on social media from our industry have purchased their followers. I'm just going to say it like that. They purchase their followers, they purchase their likes, they get their comments, all that stuff is buyable. If that's even a word, or purchasable, or you can buy them. The way to measure your success is just your consistency, man. If you're going to do social media, stay consistent, use it as a part of your business. There isn't necessarily a real way unless you say, okay, this year I want to get 5 deals from social media. Then you have to create specific content for those type of deals that you want to generate. The way I measure success is if I've answered somebody, or if I provided some sort of knowledge, or if I've given somebody a tip that they can use for financing their home. If I get a deal, then that's even better, right? But if I've educated the consumer and I've given them the tools to be a smart, savvy home buyer, then that's success for me. Because I'm adding social media as just another arsenal to my tool belt, or whatever you want to call it. Just like mortgage coach, just like HomeBot. I see it as something that I need to implement in my business to be a successful loan officer.
I think too, something while you were saying that, I brought it back up to mind. Why are you doing social media in the first place? There's 2 mindsets. One, I want to get more deals, I want to get more sales. And then that's the wrong mindset. I'm just going to be transparent. The right mindset is, how can I help my clients and prospects succeed? And when you put it into that mindset where I'm posting videos to help these people out, not for vanity and how many likes I'm getting, how many views I'm getting, it's, did I help a person actually get better, be a better person in whatever category that is, getting a loan done, being personal growth, whatever it is. I love that you mentioned that. Thank you again for hopping on the podcast, man. It's always so fun talking.
Man.
Ivan has a couple, you got it. He has a couple social media links. I haven't, but Ivan, if you have it top of mind, I think it'd be good for you just to talk about those links, and that way they can follow you wherever you want them to follow you.
Yeah, on Instagram, you can find me at It's Ivan Simental. And if you have content questions or just need anything else, you have Devin. He's amazing, but I'm always there to give you tips and tricks. But I bounce ideas off of Devin as well, because that's what he does day in and day out. And you can find me on TikTok at the Ivan Simental on TikTok. So yeah, I'd love to connect, and let's brainstorm and see what we can do to help homeowners.
Yeah, especially if you're in Las Vegas and you're a real estate agent, like definitely reach out to Ivan. He's got a lot of social tips to help you succeed. So thank you again, Ivan. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, definitely subscribe. We'll have a lot of episodes like this, and we'll see you later, Ivan.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Storyy Time podcast. Be sure to catch us next time to stay up to date with all the latest on content creation and social media. Also, subscribe to our trend reports at storyy.co/trend reports to get the latest trends in your inbox. We'll see you next time.
Storyy Time podcast.